Hi, my name's Helen, and I just would like to share my story of how I became involved with Vinnies, and in particular Fred's van. It started through my brother who lived in Melbourne, and he's my half-brother. We're adopted and I only knew him for 15 years, but then we got in touch and we formed quite a close relationship. And then unfortunately, 3 years ago, the day after my daughter's 21st, had a phone call from the Box Hill police station to say he'd been found dead in his single unit at Box Hill. And Brenton had lived on the streets for all his adult life, really. He'd had quite a fractured home life and had left home at 13. And he'd found his way on the streets, and he'd actually found a real network of friends and camaraderie, and he had all his meals through certain agencies, particularly Vinnies and other agencies in Victoria. And they were really his family, and much as we came into his life, these other people, his street friends, were family to him, and he dined with them every day. He got clothes through them, he hung out with them, he rode buses and trams with them, and they were his family. And so when they found out that he had died and the police got in touch with me, I felt like I needed to go to Melbourne, of course, for his funeral, but to represent the family. But I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it would perhaps just be a couple of people from agencies that he'd been affiliated with, but not really much warmth. And so myself and another 3 siblings, we went along. And when we got to the church that had kindly put on the service at no charge to anybody, the church was full, and it was full of other people in a similar situation to Brenton, and a lot of workers from agencies, a lot of volunteers who had shared their everyday lives with Brenton. And different denominations came together, and it was a really humbling experience for me. And then afterwards, that particular soup kitchen put on a celebratory lunch in honour of Brenton. And that was just amazing to meet some of the people that he had been involved with that we didn't know. And I think it's very easy to think, oh, they're just the homeless folk. They're there because they're a bit rough and ready. But I know my brother had a story, and he was there not by choice initially. And I think a lot of the people in his situation were like that as well. So it was actually a really humbling experience, and to think that a man at the age of 59 could die of pneumonia and not be found for 4 days, I think is pretty sad. So yeah, so then I came back from Melbourne, and I thought, it's time I need to do some volunteering. So I picked up the phone and I rang Vinnies and got onto the Fred's van coordinator. I had a couple of contacts and got involved with the Christie's Beach service, where we initially started providing sausage and bread twice a week to clients, and we've now built that up to a dine-in restaurant twice a week, where we serve up to 60 people twice a week, and we prepare the food on the premise, which is, it's had some interesting moments, and it's a bit of trial and error, but it's mostly been a really positive experience. And I also volunteer once every 3 weeks on the city van, which is also pretty amazing, and lots of people and quite a varied clientele. But I think when I started with Vinnies, I thought it might be, I don't know what I thought, but I thought I don't know what I thought, but it's actually turned out to be a really positive experience. All the volunteers I'm involved with are professional people or people who've just got a little bit of time that they're happy to donate. And I think I speak for the other volunteers as well in saying that we get a lot out of it, and I'm really glad to be involved with that.